Welcome to One Shot API. This is a quick onboarding tutorial to guide you through the major features of the application and how to use them so that you can get started with your projects as quickly as possible. If you're on the main website, click the Login Sign Up button. And the first time you log in, it'll ask you to name an organization. Organizations is how you can add team members and collaborate on projects together. If you are a member of multiple organizations, you can toggle between them with this drop-down toggle right here. And additionally, if you want to edit your teams, click on your profile button next to the organization selector and then hit businesses. Here you can click on the details of specific organizations, and if you hit update, you'll then be allowed to put in a team member's email address, hit add, and then save. This will send the new team member a welcome email for your organization. You can change the business name and description here as well. Just remember to hit save once you're done with your modifications. Now, if we come back to the onboarding screen, the thing you need in order to get started reading and writing to smart contracts is to import smart contract methods. So that's what we're going to be working towards in this onboarding tutorial. The first thing though, in order to call One Shot API from your projects or from our automation platform integrations, is an API key and secret. If you come to the API keys tab, hit create a new key, give it a name, hit confirm, and this will generate a new key and secret for you. This key and secret is typically used in concert with your business ID up here in the top right corner. When you toggle between different organizations, that business ID will change. Be sure to keep the business ID used with the correct key and secret of your organization, and be sure to keep your key and secret safe and don't leak it in, for instance, a GitHub repository. After we have an API key, I would recommend coming to the Wallets tab. A One-Shot API server wallet is required to submit transactions to the blockchain, and importantly, One-Shot API never charges transaction fees on top of your transactions. Every amount of native token that you input as gas into your One-Shot API server wallets is only used to pay for your transaction fees. You can create a new server wallet by clicking the Create a New Wallet button, give it a name and a description, and then select the target blockchain that you want it to be tied to. Importantly, for a given server wallet, it can only submit transactions on the network that it was provisioned for. So don't deposit assets into its address on other chains or you will be unable to access them. Once you have a server wallet provisioned, you can click on the Details button and edit certain aspects about it. If we hit edit here, we can change its name and description. And then we can also customize the low balance alert threshold. This quantity triggers emails to be sent to you when One-Shot API detects that your native gas token balance falls below your set threshold. And this is useful to keep you from running out of gas and disrupting transactions that might be coming from your application. The other thing I want to call out here is that from this page, you can easily add MetaMask smart account delegations for a specific wallet. Delegations can be also added from the SDK through our API. That is the topic of a different tutorial, so I won't go into details on this specific walkthrough. But now that we have a server wallet, we can start importing smart contract functions. So if I come back to my smart contracts, there's two ways to do this. The first way I'll cover is to click the Import Smart Contract Methods, and you can import the contract address and then select the target blockchain. So if I input the smart contract address, tell One-Shot API which chain to look for that on, and hit Fetch Contract ABI. If the contract is verified, it will tell you so, and if not, you can choose the option to proceed without the verified contract ABI. Here on this page, you are given the option to either import all of the functions and events that were detected on this smart contract, or you can cherry pick individual ones. So for instance, for write functions, I might import the create pair function, and you have the option before finalizing your import to add annotations to the function and its inputs, so that if you are using the smart contract function as a tool in an agent setup, this actually gives context to the tool so that the agent can figure out how to use it. You can leave it just as the default descriptions, and events are imported exactly the same way. And now once we come back to my smart contracts, you'll see that show up here, and you can now call these methods from the SDK or from our verified automation platform integrations. If I go into the details of a specific smart contract, I can get details on specific functions, and I can even test call these functions from the One-Shot API portal by giving valid inputs for the input arguments and hitting execute. This will perform a transaction from the linked server wallet that you just provisioned. Additionally, important on this page is this is where you copy the contract method ID. So when you're wanting to call functions from the SDK or perhaps from N8N or Make, you'll likely need this contract method ID. They are unique for every single smart contract function that you import, and you can grab those here. Similar concept with events. If you come to events and click details, you can do a test read from the portal, or you can use the event ID to read from externally to One-Shot API. The next way to import smart contract functions, which is convenient, is to come to the One-Shot Prompts tab. From this tab, you can filter on the target chain or the category of the smart contract, and you can even do semantic search for keywords. If I filter on the network and click into one of the pre-imported smart contracts, these typically come pre-annotated, and you can even publish your own prompts for smart contracts from your account. Using the My Prompts tab, you can click Create a New Prompt, and again, import the smart contract address and blockchain and publish your own annotations for smart contracts to be used by your organization or other users and groups. The last thing I'll cover is the Transaction History tab. This is useful for seeing the activity happening from your organization. Here you can filter on the API key used, the chain, and other filterable aspects. And importantly, with the transaction history with One-Shot API, you can add memos to your transactions to add context to why it was submitted, and that memo field is also searchable. If you have questions, you can talk to the One-Shot API team in our Telegram channel, and you can watch out for new feature updates from our X account. Thanks for watching, and let us know if you need any help. Again, in our Telegram channel, you can talk directly to the team.